Alright then, welcome to my little video about practicing with the metronome. So a little background before we get started. What I do in these videos is basically I practice a different skill on guitar for a month, well 3 months all up, but I record little updates every week to show how I'm going. So each week I practice 10 hours, so at the end of the 3 months it'll be 120 hours. So at the moment I'm up to month 5 of this year practicing sweep picking. So usually I'll only do 3 months per skill, but I decided to do 6 months for some reason, just because I didn't feel I was kind of where I wanted to be at the end of the 3 months. Last month I practiced a bunch of exercises which were great, but going into this month I wanted to sort of utilize some exercises that incorporated both alternate picking and sweep picking together. So the idea is that while I'm improvising, I can switch from one sort of skill to the other without it making it seem more seamless. So an idea of an exercise I came up with was this one. So that incorporates both alternate picking and then some sweep picking things as well. So that's just the first one. And then the next time. And then again. And then the next one will be. And lastly, and then start again. So I'm going to just practice with the metronome looping those 4 things together, and then I'll see what it sounds like at the end basically. So I'll give it a shot right now. This is just at 70 BPM. So that's the idea. I just came up with that like 20 minutes ago. So I'm going to practice that this week, and then hopefully you'll see improvement. And then each week I'll come up with a new sort of exercise similar to that one. And then at the end of this month, I'll show you my progress for all of those exercises basically. So cool, I'll see you in the next one. Over the week I practiced 2 sort of riffs. The first one I kind of showed you last week, so this one. So you might have noticed I kind of changed that one a little bit. The reason for doing that is that it just fit better with the metronome, practicing that over and over again, and also I just kind of prefer the sound of that. So it kind of just sort of changed over the week, so progressively, but I think I prefer it now. And the second riff I created is this one. And it starts over again. So yeah, that's my progress with those riffs over this week. That's the progress I made with those 2 riffs. Didn't work on it that much, but something else I worked on, this sort of thing. So So it's kind of similar to an exercise I practiced maybe a couple of months ago or something. So it's basically just going through each of the modes, but instead of hitting the bottom and the top string twice, I'm just hitting it once. So just that's the idea anyway. Like, that was obviously very sloppy, but I did that in the one position, and then I also did it kind of going up the fretboard. So like, oops. Okay, it's up to week 4 now, so one more week to go and I will have finished this month. Over the week, I practiced 2 sort of sweep picking runs, I guess you could call them. So this is the first one. So I practiced that sort of like that, just straight up and down like that. And then I practice it sort of down, then up in a different sort of rhythm, kind of like this. And this is the second one. So yeah, those are the 2 main things that I practiced. For this last week, I'm going to try and get back to some of the alternate picking mixed in with the sweep picking, and then I'll also just practice everything that I did in this month, I suppose, and then I'll come back in a week and we'll tie everything together. Okay, so that wraps up month 5. The last time I did the 3 months of sweep picking, I found that I made the most progress sort of in the last month that I was doing it. So I was kind of hoping that in this next month I've got coming up, which will be the final of the 6 months, I'm hoping I make my most progress again in that time. Yeah, so that's a wrap on month 5. I'll catch you later.